Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day. To you, that's depending where you are in the world. We are here live in London. It is just after 8 p.m. on a Wednesday evening. We're doing our nighttime devotion from the devotional called Conflict and Courage. The title today, Build an Ark. Guess where this is going? Genesis 6:13 and 14. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark. God gave Noah the exact dimensions of the ark and explicit directions in regard to its construction in every particular. Human wisdom could not have devised a structure of so great strength and durability. God was the designer, and Noah the master builder. It was constructed like the hull of a ship, that it might float upon the water. But in some respects, it was more nearly resembled a house. The material employed in the construction of the ark was the cypress or gopher wood, which would be untouched by decay for hundreds of years. The building of this immense structure was a slow, laborious process. The race of men then living were of great stature and possessed wonderful strength. The trees were vastly larger and far surpassing in beauty and perfect proportions anything mortals can now look upon. The wood of these trees was of fine grain and a hard substance, in this respect more like stone. It required much more time and labor, even of that powerful race, to prepare the timber for building that it requires in this degenerate age to prepare trees that are now growing upon the earth, even with the present weaker strength men now possess. Every piece of timber was closely fitted, and every seam covered with pitch. All that men could do was done to make the work perfect. Yet, after all, God alone could preserve the building upon the angry, heavy billows by his miraculous power. Methuselah and his sons and grandsons lived in the time of the building of the ark. They, with some others, received instruction from Noah and assisted him in building the ark. While Noah was giving his warning message to the world, his works testified of his sincerity. It was thus that his faith was perfected and made evident. He gave the world an example of believing just what God says. All that he possessed, he invested in the ark. Every blow struck upon the ark was a witness to the people. Build an ark. So, as I've said before, the people of that time had never seen rain. It had never rained. They had no idea. They were very ignorant as to what he meant about the flood. Why would it flood? But Noah heard the voice of God. Noah was told by God, build an ark. So Noah built an ark to the exact dimensions that God gave him. Now the men As I said, the trees were so much more bigger, sturdier, of a different texture, much harder, resembling more like rock. The men of those days were of much bigger stature, much stronger. So it still took a lot of work and it took a lot of time, as we know, 120 odd years. But it just all comes down to the last paragraph. While Noah was giving his warning message to the world, his works testified of his sincerity. It was thus that his faith was perfected and made evident. He gave the world an example of believing just what God says. All that he possessed, he invested in the ark. Every blow struck on the ark was a witness to the people. Noah trusted God implicitly, built the ark as God had told him to do, invested everything he had to get everything he needed to build that ark. Would you be willing to build an ark if God said build an ark? If God said you go and build a rocket ship and he gave you all the information, all the instructions you need, build it in your back garden. Would you do it?